best country, Giant FM.
It's 12 noon. I'm Scott Robinson. The Tweedle Creek fire west of Karamias has caused an evacuation alert. The fire, now over 450 hectares in size, has an evacuation alert in place for 5 homes at the base of the Tweedle drainage. Fire Information Officer Kayla Pepper says 9 firefighters have been building a guard and setting up sprinklers on properties since 4 this morning. And as well,
our air tankers put in a contingency line with a retardant on the base of the fire to go between the homes and the actual fire perimeter, and that line runs parallel to the Smelkameen River.
Pepper says the line is about 200 meters above the homes. The fire, which was caused by lightning more than 3 weeks ago and was being treated as a controlled burn, is difficult for crews to fight because of the steep terrain. A Naramata home was gutted in a fire Thursday night. The home behind the Heritage Inn on Robinson Road caught fire just before 11 o'clock. 4 people were sleeping at the time of the blaze, but all got out safely. The fire jumped quickly to 3 neighboring rooftops, but Naramata fire crews quickly knocked down the flames. The cause has been determined as accidental. The search continues today for a missing Piper PA-24 that disappeared Tuesday on a flight from Penticton to Victoria. While military and civilian aircraft are concentrating on looking over an area between Penticton and Chilliwack, a $10,000 reward has been offered for information that may lead to the recovery. Greg Fadoon, a friend of the plane's owner, is putting up the cash, hoping backcountry enthusiasts will get involved in a ground search. The plane, with call sign CFL-QS and registered to a numbered company in Kelowna owned by Ramatello, left Kelowna International Airport Tuesday afternoon, made a brief stop in Penticton where the pilot filed a flight plan for Victoria, but the plane never arrived. It has been confirmed that Tello, his brother, and 2 friends were on board. Yet another drowning, the 3rd this week in BC. Mounties and Revelstoke are investigating the drowning of an Alberta woman on Wednesday. It happened in Shelter Bay Provincial Park about 8 p.m. Wednesday evening. The woman and her husband were fishing in the Upper Arrow Lake in a small Zodiac when the woman, who was a poor swimmer and not wearing a life jacket, fell overboard. The man was able to get his wife to shore but could not revive her. Her name has not been released. Lakeshore Waterworks customers in Heritage Hills are being advised to boil all water intended for drinking, cooking, or brushing teeth for 2 full minutes before use. The advisory expected to last until the completion of construction of the new pump house and new lines. It will remain in place until further notice. Elections BC is taking the expected step now that a BC Supreme Court has dismissed a challenge by a coalition of businesses and ruled the anti-HST petitions to be valid. Communications Officer Don Main says the petitions will be delivered to the government's initiative committee on Monday.
It will now, the petition and the draft bill will be forwarded to the Select Standing Committee on Legislative Initiatives.
Maine says Elections BC plans to publish a report this fall to describe how it administered the petition and will outline a summary of its costs and proponent financing. Statistics Canada says the HST helped push BC's inflation rate to 2% in July, up from 0.5% in June. But Finance Minister Colin Hanson says that's no reason to bash his tax.
Some of the studies all along said there would be a very small impact, and I think one of the studies showed a 0.6% impact. But from these numbers that come out today, you can't draw any conclusions.
Hanson says his staff are analyzing the StatsCan inflation numbers, which also claim electricity prices were 37% higher in July. Children and Family Minister Mary Polak says when her ministry sees an opportunity for a foster child to have a better future, the ministry works to make that happen. A teenager named Frankie Bones is a gifted musician who only has until Monday to accept a scholarship to Walla Walla University in Washington State. Bones just turned 18 yesterday, but he's not allowed to make his own decisions until he's 19. Polak won't comment on this young man specifically, but will say,
we do, though, have to make sure that all the checks and balances are in place to ensure that the place the child is going is appropriate, to make sure that all the criminal record checks, etc., are done on the people with whom they're going to stay. That's our responsibility as the child's parent.
At this point, it remains unclear whether the young man will be allowed to go. And the BBC's Phil Mercer says there's a strong possibility of Australia's first hung parliament since 1940. projections from yesterday's federal election by ABC, the Australian Broadcasting Corporation, are neither of the two main rivals will win the 76 seats needed for a majority. Welsh immigrant Julia Gillard, the Labour leader, is battling Tony Abbott of the Conservative coalition to become Prime Minister. The election comes 2 months after Ms. Gillard ousted Kevin Rudd in a controversial leadership challenge. Voting is compulsory in Australia with 14 million registered voters. ABC predicting 73 seats for the Conservative coalition, 72 for Labour, 1 for the Greens, and 4 for independent MPs. Ballots are still being counted with recounts likely. In sports, CFL action last night. Well, not an offensive bit of action, but on defense they were working hard. Hamilton 16, Toronto 12. In fact, the Blue Jays managed to outscore the Argos last night. It was Cincinnati over Philadelphia 22-9 in NFL preseason action today. 11 games, including Green Bay at Seattle at 7 o'clock this evening. Next Saturday, Seattle will be playing Minnesota. AFL Arena Bowl. Yes, I thought the league had folded as well. The Arena Football League at Spokane Tribe Field, the championship game. The Spokane Shock in the final in just their first season in the league, downing Tampa Bay Storm 69-57 in front of 11,000 fans. BCFC action today. Kamloops at South Surrey this afternoon at 3. The Okanagan Sun are in Chilliwack tonight at 7. In Major League Baseball, 15 games yesterday, including those Toronto Blue Jays clobbering the Boston Red Sox 16-2. Seattle blanked the Yankees 6-0. Today, Seattle at New York again. That game tied at 4 in the top of the 7th inning. Toronto's at Boston at 4 this afternoon. At the Little League World Series in Pennsylvania, Little Mountain from Vancouver leading Panama by a score of 4-2. That's in the top of the 6th inning now. Canada in front of the Latin American representatives 4-2. Rogers Cup semifinals, the women's tennis action in Montreal just getting underway. The first game of the 2 semifinals, Caroline Wozniacki taking on Svetlana Kuznetsova, and Vera Zvonareva in the other semi playing Victoria Azarenka. Meanwhile, Serena Williams, who was not at the Rogers Cup due to injury, has now announced she will miss the U.S. Open.
Okanagan, some welcoming weather.
Cloudy periods, or rather cloudy with sunny periods. It's the sunshine that's going to be periodic. Wind from the north at 20 this afternoon, getting up to 24 for a high. The UV index 4, which is moderate. Cloudy sky tonight, the wind out of the north at 20, becoming light late this evening. A low of 14 down to 7 in the Similkameen. Cloudy tomorrow with sunny periods, 40% chance of showers in the afternoon. Wind becoming northwest at 20 in the afternoon, a high of 21, getting up to 17 in the Similkameen. The long-range forecast calling for sunshine Monday all the way to Thursday with highs in the mid-20s to low 30s. Currently, Penticton mostly cloudy, 23 degrees. The Canadian hotspot yesterday was Morden, Manitoba at 31. Summerland's 23. It's 23 in Osuya, 73 in Oroville. Princeton, partly cloudy and 18. In Kelowna, sunshine, 21 degrees, 21 in Vernon, 19 in Salmon Arm. Smoke again today in Kamloops, 18 degrees. And on the coast, Vancouver's partly cloudy and 17. And you're up to date on Giant FM. Next news coming up at 1 o'clock with Stu Cross.
I saw doves flying. I saw your mama crying. I even caught your daddy holding back a tear in his eye. I had a crystal clear vision of you in white and with a little more wishing I was by your side. I saw this flash in front of my eyes when I saw you walk by. Who knows? It might be fate and it might be us on our wedding day, saying I do, sipping champagne and laughing. Who knows? Anything can happen. No, it ain't like me to come on strong, but I've seen you every morning, all week long, and it was all that I could do to walk up to you and ask white wine and dancing. Who knows? Anything can happen. It takes one little moment for your life to change. Just one little moment, and it'll never be the same. Who knows? I saw doves flying. I saw your mama crying. I even caught your daddy holding back a tear in his eye. I saw your friends in dresses holding your train and 1,000 bright flowers in your bouquet. Now the only thing I gotta find out is your name. Who knows? It might be fate and it might be us on our wedding day, saying I do, sipping champagne and laughing. Yeah, who knows? We might be 99, great grandkids, the time of our lives. Tell me, what have you got to lose? I'm only asking. Who knows? Anything can happen. Who knows? Anything can happen. Who Mason Douglas on today's Best Country. Anything can happen. Stewing with you on your Saturday afternoon, just in front of 12:15. Canada 4-2 on Latin America into the sixth inning now at the Little League World Series. Canada, of course, represented by Little Mountain, BC. Hey, happening a little bit later in the show, we'll have our interview with Fred Eaglesmith, the first half of it coming up a little bit later this afternoon, and also some Ironman profiles telling you about some of the local competitors in this year's Ironman coming up a little later in the show as well.
Giant FM and Vernon Motoplex Speedway present Prairie Oyster, live August 21st. Canadian country music favorites Prairie Oyster in concert with special guests, the Cruzeros. Tickets are available at the gates or online at ticketweb.ca. Prairie Oyster with the Cruzeros, August 21st at Vernon's Motoplex Speedway. Gates open at 6 p.m.
Highway 97, north of Vernon.
What a great time of year to buy a new vehicle. And if a truck is in your future, you'll want to hurry to Centis Chevrolet while employee pricing is still in effect. Example 2010 Silverado XT 4x4, V8 automatic fully loaded, including OnStar and GM Satellite, employee priced at only $26,988. Or choose the Silverado Crew Cab for just a few dollars more. Come now, while the selection is great and the price is even better at Centis Chevrolet.
Country RV is clearing out last year's models with new units starting at $87.77 and savings of over $7,700. You can drive off with a new Wildcat, Starcraft, Montana, or Dutchman RV without breaking the bank. Check out Country RV's amazing selection of previously been camping units. Also on sale starting at $87.77. Country RV Penticton, a full-sale service and parts dealership here to meet all your needs. 249 Westminster Avenue, built on service.
This public service announcement is brought to you by the Kettle Valley Steam Railway, an unforgettable experience for the entire family. Steam back in time on the historic Kettle Valley Railway in Summerland. Call 1-877-494-8424.
Enjoy an evening of wonderful harmonies with 3 and Company coming up Saturday, September the 4th, 7 p.m. at the Azulias Baptist Church. For more information, you can call 250-495-6581. Well, looking a little bit hazy and kind of cloudy out there, but we do have some sunshine and, of course, summertime. Here's Faith Hill.